The recording that I put on YouTube is me speaking. So unless you've got your sound on and you end up accidentally coming onto camera, or you're happy to ask a question, then you don't come on. So who's here for the first time? Who's brand new? Okay, anyone that's brand new? No, so everyone's been here before. That's fantastic. We'll just wait for a few minutes because we've got a couple more people coming. Hi, Deepti, how are you? Nice to see you. Okay, I like Ken's the Zoom user. Okay, so let's have a wee look and see. So we've got Sussex, Solihull, London, Cardiff, Switzerland, Dubai, Stockholm, Bangalore, and Nadida, you're here for the first time. Nirupama, if you can put into the chat where you're joining us from, and Duncan also, if you can put in where you're joining us from. It's always nice to just have a wee look and see who's here. Okay, so this is, hi Anne, nice to see you. We meet every Wednesday and it's a 45-minute, very fast track on tools and techniques that I use in corporates that are all come from neuro-linguistic programming. So NLP, who here is NLP trained? Because it's not always NLP trained, but very often. So a lot of you are NLP trained, some of you are not. It makes no difference whether you're NLP trained or not, because these are the advanced communication skills we bring from NLP. NLP, for those of you who don't know, is neuro-linguistic programming. And NLP is all about the methodology of how we create behavior. It's also how language influences behavior. So we're really working with the techniques that the language we use, the state we're in, the different way we're talking today about focused listening skills. So with neuro-linguistic programming, I've been taking this into business and coaching for over 30 years. And this lunch session, it's a free session really to give you the chance to learn some of the ways we're taking this into business. Also to let you know about some of the training I do. I've got the next NLP dual certification, business practitioner and coach is happening in March next year. If anyone is NLP trained and are interested in becoming an NLP business coach, I've got the courses starting next Friday. If you're interested, just send me an email to fionacampbellcoaching.com. And also we'll tell you a little bit more about the NLP Business Circle Club. But I want to give you plenty of things to take away from. Now, please have a pen and a piece of paper and take notes or take photographs. I do not share these slides. However, you can watch the recording when it comes up onto YouTube. So it's about developing your active listening skills. Having the ability to control your self-talk improves your focused listening skills. All behavior comes from a thought. You want to take a note of that. Some of you may know that, some of you may not. So all behavior comes from a thought. How do we hear our thoughts? How do we pay attention to our thoughts? We pay attention to our thoughts with our self-talk. So when you're listening to your self-talk, if you're telling yourself, I'll never be able to do this, you're absolutely right. If you're telling yourself, I won't be able to do this yet, see how even using the word yet makes a difference. So we're looking today at just ways that you can improve your listening skills. So having the ability to control your self-talk improves your focused listening skills. The thoughts and stories we tell ourselves can either be our greatest cheerleaders or our harshest critic. When you actively manage your self-talk during a conversation, it's like giving yourself a front row seat to the speaker's world. By silencing the inner chatter and embracing a positive, open mindset, you become a more engaged, empathetic, and active listener. Now, I talk a lot about the outside world and the inside world. The inside world is everything inside your skin. The outside world is everything outside your skin. If you're talking to someone and you're chatting in your head, if you're going, okay, I wonder what question I'm going to ask next, or, oh, I could come up with a solution for that, or I hadn't thought about this. The minute you're starting this chatting in your head, you're not listening.
You're not.
So we talk about the know-nothing states. We talk very much about the know-nothing state in NLP, which I'll talk about in a few moments' time. If you don't have your micro muted, if you could just mute your microphone just now, that would be great, okay? This not only strengthens your relationship, but also amplifies your ability to absorb valuable insights and truly connect with the people you're engaging with. So remember, when you harness the magic of self-talk, you're not just listening, you're truly hearing, and that can be a game changer in your professional and personal life. It's having the ability to shut down your self-talk when you're engaged in a conversation that you need to pay attention to. Now, it's important that you understand it's when you need to pay attention to something. We can't walk about all the time shutting down our self-talk. It's too exhausting. But if you've got to focus on something, if you've got to concentrate on something, if you're coaching, if you're having a meeting as a leader, either with members of your team or you're in a meeting or you're in a negotiation, it's really important that you can shut down this internal chatter so that you can really pay attention and listen to what's being said. Now, there's a couple of ways we can stop self-chatter. I'm going to show you these two, and what this does is it actually gives your brain a bit of space to be able to listen. So what I'd like you to do is to just tune into your self-talk. And if you're sitting there going, I don't know what Fiona's talking about, what do you mean tune into your self-talk? I don't talk to myself. I never talk to myself, blah, blah, blah. That's your self-talk. So start listening to because we are running a soundtrack. We are chattering to ourselves constantly. Okay, has everyone got their self-talk? Put your hand up or just put the sign for hand up. You've all got your self-talk, yeah? What I'd like you to do now, I'd like you to take, this is the physical way to shut down self-talk. I'd like you to take your tongue and just press your tongue very gently against the back of your front teeth, and then close your mouth so that no one sees you're doing it. What happens to your self-talk when you do that? Who put your hand up if your self-talk has shut down? Cool. So that's a physical technique. Now, Annette Palmer and I, we've been working together for years, and Annette comes on and she assists in all these events that we do. Annette Palmer and I've got a very good friend, Dr. Jo Waddell, who is a GP. And Jo has been doing this for years to give her patients focused concentration so she can really hear what their problem is and the best way to solve it. So what that does, that's the physical way to shut down self-talk. The other way to shut down self-talk, because lots of different ways you can do this, but I just want to give you two today. Stop, and then give one word command such as stop, focus, stop, listen, stop, breathe. Now, the stop is the stop inside your head. Please do not run about going, stop, breathe. People are just going to look at you, especially if you're trying to pay attention to a conversation. So again, I want you to prove this to yourself. Turn up your self-talk. And then what the mistake a lot of people make is they talk to themselves, to try and give themselves too much information to stop. The brain doesn't work like that. Give the brain absolute one-word commands. So stop, breathe. Stop, focus. Stop, listen. If you can train yourself to do that when you're in a conversation where you need to pay attention, you'll be amazed at how much more information that you pick up. So put your hand up if you were able to get a change there when you did the stop, breathe, stop, focus. Yeah, it's cool. It's absolutely cool, because NLP professionals can control their self-talk, because we know all behavior comes from a thought. So we have to be able to change that self-talk. A really interesting thing to know is that people will tell you their problem and how to solve it, normally within the first few minutes of speaking to them. Because if someone has a problem, they know in their head how to solve it, but they'll tell you, but you will not hear that unless you listen for it. You just have to be actively listening so you can hear this. So if someone has a problem about not being confident, what's going on in that person's head if they're not being confident? From a neurological point of view, they have to be comparing. To be able to say the words, I am not confident, they have to be comparing to a situation where either they've not been confident doing something or they're comparing themselves to someone who is confident. When someone says, I'm not confident, they actually know how to be confident. They know what confidence looks, sounds, and feels. In NLP, we call this, comes from the NLP meta model. This is the comparative deletion. When we're working with the NLP, we're listening out for language patterns. When we hear these language patterns, we understand something's happening neurologically that's affecting someone's behavior. It's phenomenal. When I first heard this, I heard this years ago. I've been working with NLP for over 30 years in business, and I thought, nah, people won't tell you their problem, their solutions. Yes, they do. But you really have to listen to it, because if you just let them talk, they'll start to say what they actually want to achieve to get away from that problem or resolve that problem. So you're able to listen by going into the know-nothing state. The know-nothing state, we call this in NLP, this is really the state of coaching, the state of focus. This is when you've shut down your self-talk so that you can hear what's being said by the other person, and also while having no judgment or assumptions. You also listen out for voice tone. Are they anxious, angry, or frustrated? And this helps to guide you on how you proceed. When you're really focused listening, for me, people talk about you've got 2 ears. And 2 ears, no, you can let 2 ears, you can listen 2 ears. No, focused listening is looking, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a mouth. So focused listening is not just about hearing, it's actually looking as well. It's paying attention. It's totally paying attention. So you can listen to what someone's saying, but you're listening to the voice tone in that. And you're also listening to the gestures and the body movements that go on when someone's saying that. Because someone can say, yeah, I'm really confident. I'm really confident about doing that. And they can be saying it in a really confident voice. Meanwhile, their head's going, I'm not confident at all. Or someone can say, yes, I really understand that. And they're using a question tone, because when the voice goes up, it's a question tone. So these are all the things that we're listening and looking out for when we're working with neuro-linguistic programming. So what can stop you hearing solutions? When someone says something that sends you into solution mode and you start coming up with ways to solve the problem in your head, we know this. I do a lot of leadership development training. We go into organizations all over the world. And what's really fascinating is leaders want to solve problems. So someone comes up with a problem and immediately they're going into problem solving. So someone's just said, they've started to talk about that problem. And this may be a situation that they've previously experienced themselves. And then they're straight into problem solving mode and they're missing everything that's being said. So the minute you go into your own world and into your own self-talk, you've switched off from the outside world. You cannot hear what is being said. Or someone says something that makes you judge them. Because the minute you judge them, or the minute you make an assumption about something, you're going into your own stuff. And the minute you're going into your own stuff, there's loads of things that person's talking about that you are missing completely. Because remember, when we're working with advanced communication skills for coaching and for leadership development, for leaders to be able to develop the people they work with, what you're wanting to do is really, you're working with helping that person get into their own resources. You're not there to keep giving them answers. Good leaders do not give all the answers. They encourage people to think for themselves. They encourage people to come up with their own solutions. And that's the key for coaching. You're focusing on the problem, not the solution. Oh, so why is that a problem? And then you just keep talking about the problem. So you're focusing on, and very often we can have a domino effect. And this is all happening in our inside world. So you're listening to someone and someone is setting off a chain of thought with you going, oh, if that happens, that could happen and that could happen in worst case scenario. Meanwhile, you've gone away somewhere in your head and that person's still in front of you. So can you see how important it is to be able to say to yourself, stop, focus, stop, listen, or just put your tongue behind the back of your teeth to stop your self-talk. So you're not with that person letting your mind wander. The minute you're letting your mind wander, who knows when they let their mind wander? Who's aware? that they can be, you can be watching something in television, you can be listening to a conversation, and all of a sudden you realize, I have not heard a thing that has been said over the last minute. That's where your gold is normally, the bit that you've managed to switch off from. That's why good coaches, good business leaders all know, they're all key listeners. They know how to listen. You should be listening 80% of the time of a conversation. The other person should be talking 80%. And you're listening 80% and talking 20%. That's when you get to hear what people want. And also setting your intention. Our brain works like a sat nav. So if you don't tell your brain where you're going, your brain will just go all over the place. It's as simple as that. Now, I've been doing this for 30 years, and what keeps me really passionate and really excited about this is neuroscience is proving this. We're only at the cusp of bringing NLP into business. It's just beginning to happen. We're just seeing leaders starting to come in going, wow, these are all the skills that keep people engaged, keep people motivated, keep people inspired in business. So think about it. If you just get in your car, you've got a sat nav, but you don't set anything in the sat nav, and you head out for some place that you don't know, you might get there by following some road signs and having a rough idea of the direction you're going. But the moment you set that sat nav, what happens? It keeps you absolutely focused. The brain works in exactly the same way. So when you've got a situation with someone, you ask yourself, what do I want to get from this? What am I listening for? So setting the expectations. So your brain is compelled to respond to everything you ask it. Ask yourself good questions and you'll always get good replies. Setting an intention lets your brain know what to listen out for. See what happens when you set your intention to really hear what your client's problem is by saying to yourself, what's their problem? How do they want to solve it? Just write that down. What's their problem and how do they want to solve it? And use that. Now, I know lots of people come onto these events and they never use anything. They think this is great. It's a nice 45-minute entertainment. I don't want this to be 45-minute entertainment for you. I want this to be 45 minutes where you absolutely take something and you use it. So notice what happens the next time someone comes to you with a problem and say to yourself, okay, just silently mention what's their problem and how they want to solve it. And start to notice what happens with just saying that, the difference of saying that and what your brain will then start paying attention to. Yeah. Any questions so far? Okay. Or any feedback, anything you'd like to share? Because I'm going to put you into breakout rooms in a couple of moments. And we'll go into breakout rooms today, maybe for 9 minutes today. Sometimes we do 7 minutes, sometimes we do 9 minutes. Any feedback? Is this useful for you? Yeah. Is this looking at listening skills maybe in a slightly different way to what you've done before? Okay. So we'll just stop sharing here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open up rooms. So I'd like you to go into the rooms and I would like you just to get to know each other. But I'd like you to really focus on finding out. So what would be the question? This is not people coming to you with a problem. What question, what intentions do you want to set for yourself? Let's get some intentions. Who's got some intentions we can set to take you into focused listening? Because some of you will be getting into the room going, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. What's the exercise supposed to be doing? I don't know. I'm not very comfortable about talking to people online. And this is all your self-talk. So what I'd like you to do, if you become aware of self-talk, just use the tongue exercise or tell yourself, stop, focus. Set yourself the intention to get to really know at least one person in the room. As much information as you can. Please don't interrogate the person. Just chat with each other, but notice what happens when you pay attention. Okay, so that's the rooms all open, and we'll come back just about 1 minute past. Okay, so off you go. Okay, we'll just wait till everyone comes back, and then we'll get some feedback from each group. to see we got. Okay, welcome back, everyone. And had we just got to the interesting part? And you all we're leaving now.
Yeah.
Always love when we do that. People, we need some more time to get to know each other. Okay, let's just go around. Just one person from each group. What did you get? What did you either discuss in your breakout room, or what have you got? What as a group? What have you got from this session? Who wants to go first? Just put your hand up, and if you put yes, Jacob. Okay.
One thing I got: if you want to listen to others, stop listening to yourself.
Fantastic. Exactly. That's what we're talking about. It's really stop listening to yourself, and that way you can listen to others. Make a bit of space in your brain. Yeah. Who else? Let's get another couple of people from different groups. Hi, Jackie. I haven't said hello to you. Yes, Prashant. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed your session because I was late joining the session. But as I am practicing coach, I know that I don't want to bring my judgment into listening.
Yes, that's one of the things where it's really important that you don't bring your judgment, you don't bring your assumptions into the conversation. You will be able to catch up with this, Prashant, on YouTube. I will send you the link. This is all recorded on YouTube. Yeah. Carol.
Thank you, Fiona. Thank you.
Thank you. Carol.
Hi, Fiona. I think we had a very interesting conversation. And also from that conversation, what I know that why I haven't started this is I haven't taken action, and is I want to learn NLP coaching, and also I want to start my own business.
Okay.
Is action, a lot of self-talk. I'm not good at doing this or that. So that's what I thought.
So you're talking yourself into something, and then you're talking yourself out of it.
Yes.
You're talking yourself, I should be doing this, I need to do that, I've got to do that, I've got to do the next thing. Is, oh no, that will take up too much time, or you won't be able to do that, or you won't. And this is what happens. We have arguments with ourselves in our self-talk, and just noticing your self-talk is great. Okay, I'm happy to talk to you about the NLP training I do. We'll be sending some details out about that later, but happy to talk about that. But fantastic, I love you do that. You've actually realized I'm not taking I'm not taking any moving here because I'm talking myself out of things. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
What else did you get? Who else has got something? Just another couple of people. Yes, Priya.
So in my breakout room, I had a delightful time, honestly, because I've met someone who's lovely. But what I'm thinking is when I'm relaxed, it's very easy to practice active listening. And I was very relaxed in the breakout room. I think things get difficult when there's something at stake, like maybe something that involves academics or an exam or something like that. That's probably where I would have found myself wanting to mindfully practice active listening more. I don't know. There's a state that sometimes gets in the way of that.
Yes, there's lots of states that can get in the way. So what would be the best way to do that then, if you found yourself getting into a state? Because remember, when we're talking about getting into a state, where does that come from? It comes from a thought.
Yes. Yeah.
So what can you do to stop yourself getting into a state?
Yeah. For me, number one, identifying that the state has happened. And that's huge. And then seeing the pattern of the state leading to the obstacle.
I would advise in this situation at this, if your state is getting in the way of you paying attention, you tell yourself, stop, pay attention.
Yeah.
Because if you go in and start to analyze and figure out and go, what's this and what am I going to do? You're having this big conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
I pride myself in making NLP techniques really easy. And people turn around and say, but it can't be as easy as that. Try it. Yes, it can. Now, I'm going through a scenario at the moment personally with a situation. My husband's not very well at the moment, and there's a lot of the ways that my state could collapse completely. But I've got to control what I'm saying to myself, or I'll go into the, what ifs. We don't know what the what ifs are. I'm controlling a lot just now through my self-talk. I'm proving it. I'm walking my talk just now. This isn't the first time I've done it. It's called life, by the way. It's just that when you learn to actually work with, what can I do at this point of time? Nothing. Can I worry about situations? Of course I can. And then you let yourself worry. So when I find myself, I'm human, I find myself going into, I go, stop, breathe. Stop. Stop. Stay here, because there's nowhere you can go apart from the present moment. So when you're in a state and listening and looking to listen to what people are saying, that's not the time to really get into a conversation with yourself. The one word command works absolutely beautifully. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So what else? Let's take one more.
So what I got today is I got to talk to Justin. He was in my room. So we had a really long talk as only two of us were there. Apart from what you have told about the listening skill, Justin told one more thing is listen the room,
Yes.
not just the person. So that was something I really am taking away along with stop technique and the other physical technique.
So it's listening to the room, it's taking in the scenario. And again, remember, it's not just the listening, it's looking and listening. That's what makes a really good focused listener. They're watching, they're taking up clues. And 70 to 80% of our communication is non-verbal. You know that? It's non-verbal. It's 70, 80% is voice, tone, and gestures. As well as voice, tone, there's gestures. Okay, thank you, Deepti, for that. So let me just share with you, as I said, I've got the NLP Business Coach is starting next week. I've still got a couple of spaces on that, and I will honor, we had a really good offer. With a silly offer. It's a 75% discount offer that we had for the summer, and I will hold that for anyone who wants to do that. You have to have completed at least a 7-day NLP training for that. I'm just putting in the chat here. If you're NLP trained, we run the NLP Business Circle Club. Now, the NLP Business Circle Club, and you may notice we're changing our logo. We've just changed, just having a refresh with how the club looks. This club has been running for nearly 3 years, and we meet on the second Tuesday and the fourth Thursday of every month. And it's a live 2-hour masterclass that we have every month that's recorded. Our members get access to all the recordings. That's all the videos, audios, and workbooks since December 2020. The price for that is normally $90 a month, but the offer that we have for people who come onto this lunch is instead of $90, it's $45 a month, and you get your first month free. There's no contract, so you can cancel at any time. You have to have had some NLP training for this. Doesn't matter if you've gone on to a workshop, as long as you've got an idea about NLP training, that's fine. And if you would like a complimentary 45-minute strategy session with me, I'm happy to do that. Now, we can work on your business. We can work on anything that you're looking to do. And I will let you know about, actually, that's out of date because that's not the 14th of September anymore. I'll let you know about the NLP dual qualification. I do the NLP dual business practitioner and NLP business coach. And they're accredited by ANLP, that's the Association of NLP internationally. And I also do one-to-one coaching with people. So I tend to do it's professional growth coaching, so it can be to help you develop your business. But the thing about this session is it's not just me selling my services on there, it's also using that 45 minutes for me to work with you to get something that you want to take away. And that just gives you the opportunity, if you choose to work with me or not, doesn't matter. So to actually be able to do that, go on to Fiona at theprofessionalgrowthcompany.com. I will when I send the thank you email for here, we will have all the details for that. Okay. I'm talking at the NLP International Conference. The NLP International Conference is May 2024, and it's in London. And this is an international conference for people that are NLP trained. It's a brilliant conference. It's been running for many years, and it's run by the Association of NLP. They've got it in 2 sections. There's one part of it is online. There's the virtual conference that happens, I think it's February, the virtual conference is, and the face-to-face conference is in London. It's at Sheraton at Heathrow Airport. And that is in May next year. I'll be sending out details of early bird offer for that. And also I'm talking again at the NLP Global Summit. That's in January. That's that's Nisha Shah that runs that summit. And it's lovely just to see the international community growing. And also it's wonderful to see NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, really starting to come into business and coaching. Okay, so I'm going to finish there. I know we're finishing 3 minutes early. I'll put off the recording in a moment, but I'm here. Anyone who wants to chat to me, anything you've got anything to ask, I'll be here for 10, 15 minutes. So give yourself a big round of applause. Next week, we're doing the VAK communication model, the visual, auditory and kinesthetic communication model. So we'll be covering that for next week. And you can catch up on all these recordings on my YouTube channel, and I'll send you the details of the YouTube channel on the email. Okay, so take care, and I'm looking forward to everyone who's joining us in the Business Coach starting next Friday, and see you soon. Thank you very much for supporting this. Okay, take care. Okay, bye. Okay, so let me just